God with us. And I preached. And they were there with an age of memoir. Cheap press. An age of memoir. It sounds boss, doesn't it? But it's just a memory jogger. And you'll have to excuse my accent, of course. When I get excited, I become more Bristolian than normal. And when I'm in God's presence, I'm excited. Always. Now, I have books and tricks, and I have to always say the disclaimers. Alright? I'm not Harry Potter. I'm not trying to be Harry Potter. I'm Michael Burt, servant of God. And what I do is to enhance and maybe have a bit of fun as well. I hope you're with me on that. I know I have won't you? Hey? You're with me. Alright. So, it's Father's Day. Yay! How many of you are fathers? You know, I can't put my hands up. I'm not a father. Not any children that are on my own. But actually, how many of you are men?
I'm not sure.
It's not a political question. Men, if you're a man and you trust Jesus, you trust God, if you're a man, you're a father figure. Isn't that a nice thing to have? You know? And it doesn't matter how old you are, either, you're a father figure. Is that frightening for some people? But for me, I mean, when people look at me, they think, a father figure? Woo! I've got to laugh. But actually, the minute you sit down and talk with somebody, the minute you share the gospel with somebody, the minute you are embracing somebody, isn't that what fathers do? Isn't that what fathers do? And you know this amazing book? It means called you that one.
When you did it down, it's rustling on you.
But I did it. Okay. Technology. It's alright. But I like to move around. The problem with that is you've got to have a mic to polish it. This amazing book. How many of you have got one of these? The most amazing book in the world. But actually, it's not a book, it's a series of books. And all the way through the Bible, there is a theme. And it's fathers. It's fathers. And I'm not being sexist today, ladies, because some of you make great fathers. Great fathers. And so when I say fathers, in the Bible terms, there are great examples. There are also some very dodgy ones in the Bible. Some fathers have been a big, good kicking, get your act together. And I say that already did. So, sometimes we need to get into the depth of what the Word is saying about fathers. There are great examples. There are people, even when they get it wrong in the Bible. The last time I was here, I shared a few fathers that got it wrong, if you remember. Does anybody remember the people I chose? Doesn't matter, I'm not going to go into it too much. I did, you're right. Well done, did. Yeah. In the Bible, there are fathers that are great examples. But even the ones that aren't great examples are examples. Because they allow us to learn from their mistakes. And when you're a father of a child, they learn from your mistakes as much as they learn from your victories. My favourite book. So, there is one amazing example in the Bible that supersedes all others. All others. And we've sung about it. Good choice of songs, by the way. Not sure about the lighthouse. But great songs that talk about the Father. Father is God. How much more of an example can we get? How much more do we need? Now, I've had some illusions today. Not magic, it's illusions. Alright? And by the end of the day, you'll all know how to do what? Right at the end, I'll give you the account. But we start off, I want you to imagine this like page. Don't pick up the paper yet, it's on the table. That's to the end where you can follow my video and show you how to do it without any words. This piece of paper represents this. It represents you. It is us. Okay? And it's right because up to this point we haven't made any mistakes. Although on this piece of paper I did spill some tea. So there is a stain on it. Like there is a stain on our life. But here we go. So this piece of paper represents us. And it also represents us in our relationship with the one Father. A lot easier doing this on the table, but actually you don't get the benefit of seeing it in action. So we fold the paper, and that is like a crease in our relationship with God. It's a crease. But when I look at the shape, this reminds me of my birthplace. It reminds me, or it might remind you, of your school. But it's where we go, where we congregate, where we're together. And you might be saying, well, what's that got to do with Father's Day? Shall I explain?
Yep.
Alright, good. Otherwise I'll have to go on. In our workplaces, in our schools, we have natural father figures. We have father figures who help us and guide us through all the difficulties that school or work can bring. And, in some workplaces, I've been glad of people. At the time I was working in a prison, I was very glad of the chaplaincy department where I could go when I was feeling down and at least receive prayer, but more than that, support. So, there are father figures in our workplace. All we've got to do is find them, search them out. They're there. You know? We don't know what faith people have necessarily if they don't wear it like a badge. But I make it clear to people what I believe, whether they want to hear it or not. But sometimes that's what we have to do. But there are father figures in our workplace. Now the second crease represents a house. A real house full of prayers. Anybody remember that? Showing the age now. Anybody under a certain age won't even know what I'm talking about. Have you heard about Little House on the Prairie? A house. In each house, there are father figures. And in some houses, some families, that father figure isn't a man. It is a woman, a mother. It is a grandfather. It is a grandmother. It might be an older brother, an older sister. Somebody was holding the life of the family together. I was on Facebook before I came today, and there was a posting from a young lad in Crete who was with his mother walking down the street when a missile exploded very close to them, and when he woke up, his mother was seriously injured. In fact, she was fatally injured. And he lifted his mother, turned her over, and he said, "Are you all right?" And she said, "I'm all right. I'm okay." And then, sadly, she passed away. However, that family, he had 3 siblings. 3 siblings. And he has taken on the mantle of the father figure in that family. So it was the proof, isn't it? That God doesn't leave us alone, even when we think we're alone. There's always somebody to take on the mantle of Father's death. And I pray that God will be with that lad as he brings up those figures. You know, I would make the assumption that his father is probably forced to be fighting as well, so there's a risk of no pay in that situation. But there is a father figure. It's very heavy all of a sudden. That's not in my notes. But I think you need to hear it today. So in every family there are father figures. Another thought. Now this thought reminds me of church. Because it's got a people. A church. And in a church, there are up to father figures. There's your pastor for a start, who everybody thinks is the person who knows most. And very often they don't. No offence. You know? It's very often the wife, the line pastor, that knows everything. But the truth is, there are a group of people in church who can mentor, who can look after, and can support in all situations. My wife and I have been through tough times, haven't we? With illness and stuff. But you know what? There was always somebody to come and pray. And they used to come and sit with Judy when she wasn't too good, even when she didn't want them to. But they came. You know, and they embraced her and they prayed for her. And that is something that fathers do. So the example is to do those things. You know, I hate using the phrase Father's Day. You know why? Because every day is Father's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. Isn't it? It's not just today. And I know Rob likes it because he gets presents today. Did you remember? That's right. It's not important really, because for me, the true Father's Day is every day because it's God's day. So, we've had work, school, home, and church. All examples of where there is a father figure in our lives. When you turn this over, it changes completely. It becomes a hit. It becomes a hole in our lives. And it's a hole that needs to be filled by the one and only Father. It's that hole that needs to be filled by the one and only Father. And how do we get that? It's so simple, it's unbelievable. We actually tear off, I'll pick it up after all. We tear off the things that hold us back from that relationship with our true Father. And we may have to do it more than once. But you see, the one true Father sent His Son for us to have a relationship with the true Father. He came. He lived. And He died for us. Well done, Leslie. Leslie, can you just bring yours up to me? Back here. I want you to see something. They're not the same. Alright? And when I do this in schools, and we're going to give you the chance to do this today, I'm not quite sure what I'm talking about, to give you the chance to do it. At the end of the talk, there will be a video. And you can watch the video. We can start the video at each section if necessary. Can't we? We can pause it. So you see, these crosses aren't the same. And your cross won't be the same as mine. Because you need different things, actually. You need different things from the Father than I do. You need different things from the mentor of your life, Jesus, than I do. So it's not wrong. And when I was in the school, I did this a few weeks ago in All Saints School, and some of the crosses were really big. And one, because they hadn't tore it properly, actually looked like a Celtic cross. It was beautiful. And then the great joy is, you can make it more beautiful because you can colour it in. I sometimes use this as a prayer. I call this a praying cross. And as I pray for work and school at that point, pray for homes and families at the next point, and then pray for church life at the next point. And then I will write prayers on this, colour it in, and keep it for a while, and it becomes an age to know what? Yeah, for each and every one of us. So, God cares about us. He cares so much that He sent His Son. And I suppose the real question is, why did He send His Son? Yeah? Why? Well, the truth is, that God created man in His own image. He created you, He created me in His image. So we were God and man. Created. We were the same. And you know the great joy? That the Father, in the Garden of Eden, took a walk with Adam and Eve. He done that with Adam and Eve. You ever done that? Oh, that with God? I like to say, that with God. It's good. But, you know, Adam and Eve made a big mistake, didn't they? Stop telling me one secret. Adam and Eve made a big mistake. They broke the trust that God had for them. And that created sin, a barrier. Okay. That created a barrier between God and man. That's sin. Jesus came, He lived, He died, He was resurrected, yeah? He was resurrected to break down that barrier. Wasn't it? So you know what's going to happen? We did. That if Jesus has broken down the barrier, there is now nothing between you, me, and all of us and God. You agree? Would you like to open the sin? Take out man. And what's the other one? Go. Broke down the barrier and then stopped you out. Well done. Is that what you thought? It's a problem because I didn't trick men's breakfast, didn't I? That used a similar technique. And he remembers. That's good because that means there's a good chance he's going to remember a lot of things. Okay. The Bible tells us Right? Jesus himself. And I do need to get the scripture right, so I'm going to find it in my notes. Jesus himself talked about his relationship with his Father and what it meant to him. And in John, that's better, in John chapter 14, verse 20 to 21, Jesus said this: "On that day, you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you." Wow! Doesn't that blow your mind? What does that mean? What does that mean? What do you think it means? So I read it again, you tell me what you think that means. On that day you will realise that I am in my Father. What does that mean? What do you think that means? Oh. I know, it's a strange concept, isn't it? What about you, Isaac? What do you think that means? Yeah. I know if I went over here, somebody would know it straight away. What it means is that Jesus is saying, basically, that he is in God. But more than that, he is then saying, you are in me. So if you believe you are in Jesus, you are also, therefore, in God. Does that blow your mind? We did say I was getting to theological debate, didn't I, this morning when we were having a chat? And it says then, and I am in you. Whoa! Just a minute. There's the Father, there's the Son, and we are in him. And more than that, he is in us. How can you explain that? How do you explain something like that? I might have something to learn. You are in Jesus. You are in God. You are in Jesus. You are in God. And guess what? He is me. He is you. I'm not talking now. I'm sorry about these kids here. So, that's us. That box represents us. Now the first thing to answer is that Jesus said he is in God, in the Father, and therefore the Father is in him, and that he is in us. So, where are we? We're inside, aren't we? Or Jesus is inside of us. Brilliant. So Jesus is inside of us. So this box represents Jesus in us. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. Because you see, Jesus is in us. The box that was on the outside is now on the inside. I like this. Good imagery, this one. So where is Jesus? He's now here, on the outside. Actually, that's not true. You were right, Isaac. Because you see, Jesus upside down, Jesus upside down. Jesus is in us. I hope that helps to explain that rather difficult theological talk. Jesus is in you. And because he's in you, You are in God, the Father. You, Isaac, come with me. Come with us. Hold my hand if you don't mind. We are now hanging out with God. Thank you very much.